Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
Also, if you are looking for something new and different for the upcoming Compliance Week celebration in November, check out The Compliance Kids. It's my 3-book children's series on compliance and compliance professionals for children. But they make great gifts and great training tools for your employees. You can check it out on Amazon.com. We've linked to it in the show notes. The Daily Compliance News for November 18, 2024, the Top Cop on Wall Street edition. We begin with that story from the Financial Times, which reported last week that Jay Clayton, the former chair of the SEC, has been tapped to be the top prosecutor for, or rather the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, one of the most prestigious prosecutorial posts with oversight of Wall Street. He's a highly respected business leader, counsel, and public servant, President-elect Trump said. It's one of the few sort of standard or traditional nominations Trump has put forward today. Next up from Reuters. It reports that the U.S. government has asked the judge to sentence Bill Hwang, the founder of Archegos Capital Management, for 21 years of prison for running a market manipulation scheme that wiped out $36 billion from his firm and cost lenders more than $10 billion. In a late night filing, prosecutors said that Hwang should be subject to a $12.35 billion forfeiture and to pay restitution to his victims. The U.S. is obviously very, 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 very pissed off at Bill Hwang. Next up, from the New Republic, a long-form article entitled "Trump's New Oligarchy is About to Unleash Imaginable Corruption." The elevation of Elon Musk to a key role suggests that right-wing elites are about to embark on a spree of sordid self-dealing. Of course, given the people that Trump has put in place, or at least proposed to put in place to regulate them, well, now they will have to do so, which, of course, will not happen. So get ready for a lot of corruption. And our final story comes to us from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal. Richard Vandeford reporting that the founder of the crypto mixer Helix was sentenced to 3 years in prison in order to forfeit more than $400 million in assets. This comes from, was sentenced by a federal court in Washington last week. He was made the orders that were noted above, and he had previously voluntarily shut down his company, so it's not an ongoing corruption and fraud matter. Still, given what the U.S. wants from Bill Hwang, a fairly reasonable and might even say low sentence of 3 years. As I mentioned at the start of this podcast, the sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Well, Ethico has a great new offering this month for you, a toolkit for middle managers. This is something that you, as the compliance professional, can use to move your compliance program forward by giving middle managers the skills necessary to answer a call for speak up or when someone comes in their office and raises a concern. I can't think of a tool that will be more valuable for you in the current era of enforcement. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.